Hey Dressage Superstars, welcome to Dressage Mastery TV. My name is Natasha Alsop and this is my Grand Prix Stallion Arbor. And we're here to answer all your questions regarding dressage and how to make the process and the journey a little bit easier and a little bit less confusing, something like that. So what we've been doing is talking about the German training scale, and for the next 2 weeks I want to talk about my newly developed rider success scale. So when I was learning the German training scale, it was awesome and it was brilliant and I understood it, but I wasn't the rider I needed to be to deliver the German training scale. I actually couldn't keep, let's say the German training scale number 3 is contact, but if I can't keep a steady contact, then that wasn't useful. So I developed a rider success scale that partners with the German training scale to make sure that you as a rider develop while you're training your horse in the German training scale, to make sure you're both developing how you need to be, so you're both working on what you need to be to get results and to really fast track your dressage success. So let's talk about the first one. The first one that I think about in the rider success scale is your seat. You simply must have an independent seat. So that means a seat that goes with the horse. Obviously, if I'm riding like this and I have no balance and I'm about to fall and slide off the horse, besides Arbor thinking, well, that's really weird, or doing a poo, because just don't work with horses or babies. Good boy. We're right? Okay. So yeah, if I start sliding off the side of him, what Arbor's going to do is fall in on the circle, because that's where my weight's going. If I start sliding over this way, you see how quickly he then falls inside or outside under my weight. So if I'm just a little bit off center, I'm just sitting a little bit off center, he's still falling in. So you've really got to make sure you're sitting very centered with your weight evenly on both seat bones so your horse can travel straight. There's no point going down a center line, falling this way, and then going, my stupid horse won't do straight center lines. So your seat is super, super important, that you have a balanced seat, that your seat goes with the horse. So that's obviously in walk, in trot. Again, your seat has to go with the horse. If I start, I won't do it to you, buddy, but if I start thumping on his back, he then won't soften his back and come round and soft for me, because he's just going to get a sore back because I'm going to be thumping on it. So you have to have a seat that goes with the horse. And in the canter, again, the seat that doesn't brace or lean forward or lean back, but that just goes and travels with the horse, so your horse can optimally use his back and be in the right rhythm. Now, the way you use your seat is greatly influenced. The way you use your seat really influences your horse's way of going. So if I'm trotting and I tell my horse to go bigger, I'm asking him to go bigger with a bigger seat. And then when I ask him to collect, I ask him to come softer with my seat and collect with the seat, and out with the seat and collect with the seat, and to do a walk transition with the seat, or to canter with the seat, or not canter as the case may be, and canter with the seat. Good boy. So he's got to connect my back to his back, and sometimes he does it, sometimes he doesn't. Good boy. So it's really important as a rider that you develop a great independent seat. The second thing that a rider simply must have is the correct training mindset. And I've created a 10-part system or checklist that you as the rider need to have in your mindset when you ride. So you can't have fear, you can't have anxiety, you can't have emotions, you can't be angry about the traffic when you got to your horse, so then you carry that anger back onto the horse. It isn't fair. I always say you have no right to be you when you're on your horse. You have a right to be the rider that horse needs in the moment. I am not a patient woman. My husband will totally agree with that. I have no patience whatsoever. But when I'm on a horse, I've had to develop and create this patient persona that, I'm zen. everything's okay and I've got all the time in the world. Now that's not the personality I'm born with. I'm very gung-ho, very come on. But when I ride, I had to develop the personality and the rider traits and the mindset that I needed that would get the right training results for my horse. So you simply must have the right training mindset. And the third thing you have to have as a rider is contact. So we all want our horses to be on the bit, and we all want our horses to be round and to work through their back like this. So that's all great, and my horse is in a nice contact on the outside rein. But you can see my hands are still. Nothing's happening, even though I'm trotting and my body's moving, my hands are still, except for little half holds. But if my hands were moving or jabbing him in the mouth or going up and down or moving to the side or moving to this side, you can see my horse's head can't stay still, sorry buddies, because my hands aren't still. So you as the rider have to develop a contact that is fair to the horse. Contact simply means, that you can feel the horse's mouth. So you want to feel his mouth at all times and talk to him with your little half holds. But that simply must mean, again, you work on your seat and you develop as a rider so you can keep your reins and hands still, so the contact can be still, and then your horse can easily work over his back, like in the German training scale, and work correctly. So they're the three things, the first 3 steps of the Rider Success Scale that I've developed. If you would like much more info, I've written a manual that talks about the German Training Scale and the Rider Success Scale. You can get it all for free on my website. Go to www.dressagemastery.com/free, and that'll be all there waiting for you, so you can get into it in more detail. And if you would like the program that I've developed that's based on the German Training Scale and the Rider Success Scale, you can also join up to Dressage Mastery for just $1. Just go to dressagemastery.com. Have a super week. In 2 days, on Thursday, I'll go through the Rider Success Scale with a student, probably Montana, and then next week we'll talk about the final 3 steps of the Rider Success Scale. So see you next week. Bye.